Oh, let me get my tarot ready. We are live. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the next installment of HoDiGa's. And we were just having a quick bit of kind of gossip catch up backstage. And as you know, I'll introduce the ladies. And Diane's got some very interesting news to share, so we'll go into that. So first of all, thank you, Dianne and Lady G, for joining us this weekend. And we're back to the usual start time. UK clocks actually go forward tomorrow for us, so we'll be back in that 5-hour differential again very soon. And who do we have in? We've got lots of people piling into the room, so let's quickly just read, see who's here. We've got Lynn Raymond, Joanne B, T Jones, Gertrude.
Gertrude.
Hi. Yeah, because it's H-I.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite clients.
Oh,
no lie.
Oh, we got Eva Nevala, Sharon Donnelly, JMZS, and Sandy R, and many of you popping in. So today, now I was very busy today with my own little adventures. So just to give you a little spiel, it's starting to get very sunny in London, and many of my Chalice of Light membership will have seen the little videos. Well, actually, all of my membership would have seen some of the videos that I did. And I was with my friend Dan, and we went down the Thames today in one of these kind of clipper boats, and we went to Greenwich, had some food, had a seafood platter and all this different stuff, and it was wonderful. So there'll be more kind of sharing of stuff like that in the future. But Dianne, tell us this exciting little thing that's coming up. So please explain.
So I just told Hogarth that I won't be around the last Saturday of April because I'm going to a Bridgerton style ball. It's in the Regency style, like Jane Austen. And so I'm so excited. I'm going with my fiance, Michael, and I was really nervous that we would get him something to wear because he's 6'5", and I mean, he can't even walk into a shoe store and buy something. I mean, his bone structure, like, I'm not joking, his hands are bigger than my head. But we actually found a place that actually has like those style tuxes. And I'm having a dress made. I should have it in a few days, actually. So that's why I won't be here in a few weeks. But I'm going to do lots of pictures, and I'm so excited. It's in a French style mansion, and the best part is it's near my house. It's not even that far. I can drive there, so I'm really excited.
Do you know what? Believe it or not, even as wildly popular as the show has been, I have not seen a full episode of Bridgerton. Believe it or not.
Shame.
And it's I know, but you know what? Almost like there's part of me that I want to almost imagine myself doing like a photo bomb where maybe I dress up as what's he called, Lord Thingamajig?
Yes, I forget his name in the show, but yes.
Right, so maybe I could do like a picture of myself dressed as him and be like,
you look like him.
which would be hopefully which would be a funny thing. Oh, we've got a donation coming already. My goodness, before we've even started. So who's that? Let me see. My computer's slightly slow. So Buddha Leon, thank you so much. Okay, so without further ado. This is very exciting. So, of course, and a great reason, of course, for not being able to attend HoDiGa's, of course, you will be missed. But we know you're going to be wearing a big old dress and, dancing around and candlelit goodness.
They give you dance lessons in the afternoon. There's dance lessons in the afternoon with an expert in that time period to teach you how to do all the different dances. So
really fun.
Oh, can't wait.
Like this is like a once in a lifetime, I think. Kind of thing.
You got to go for it. You just totally got to go for it. So I've prepared questions as usual in advance, and of course the ladies don't know what I'm going to ask. I've also as well here in the comments. So I've been rushed all day. So look, I've got some of the comments here where people have left questions. So thank you to everyone that left comments and questions. We really appreciate it. So I was thinking for some of these we could do for our one card pulls. which of course we love. And as usual, we will finish the show on time, particularly as well as Diane's got to pop off as well to other things. But we know we like to keep the show to an hour. So without further ado, let's get stuck in or dive in, which people might find sometimes stuck in gets lost in translation, but we'll leave it there. I know a lot of people are just like, stuck in? What do you mean?
We don't say that.
It means like literally to get stuck in. Okay, so ladies, are we ready for the first question? All right. So we know there's a lot going on in the world, and we will actually touch on some Ukraine stuff as well, but there's been some very interesting questions that have come up. So this has come in from Knowledge Equips. So they've asked, is Rebecca Mercer a Russian asset? And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. And they've asked, is she of Russian descent, perhaps? She's gone off the radar, but was a staunch right-wing conspiracy theorist, as we know, and Russian sycophant, this person's saying. So, but the question is Rebecca Mercer a Russian asset? Rebecca Mercer. Is Rebecca Mercer a Russian asset? I'm just eating off camera, guys. Sorry, it's just been a busy day.
Her cards are really interesting. I don't know a lot about her. I actually know nothing about her personal life or anything like that. But the first card I get is the Devil card.
Wow.
Yeah. So, okay. So I would say, yeah, given that, especially where her obstacle is the Fool, saying and doing foolish things. I would take it at face value. I wouldn't look at the deeper meanings. I think it's actually just face value. She's saying foolish things. But there's something else going on with her that I have no idea. And my cards I don't reverse, but I did get the 9 of Cups for her reversed. So she's not in a good place, emotionally, psychologically. She's feeling really stuck. But once again, the Hanged Man did it to himself. That leg is free. He can let go. And then I think there's got to come a point where we just don't hear from her anymore.
Wow.
Where she just sort of fades off in the distance. So, but yeah, I would say the card that represents her is the little devil friend. Yeah, that's not a good sign.
Absolutely. Lady G, what do you get?
Underneath of it all, I've got that she's high on emotions, mentally, in pain, a lot of pain mentally, tries to, justify what she's doing, but her path.
Oh, you got the Fool too.
Chosen, I got that, as well as working with dark money and the same thing. Yeah. Darker elements. In the center of it, I got that she's, again, tied up kind of mentally. Above it, false knight. And working on things. Foundation is working on things, trying to juggle this stuff and the people that she's involved with for the long-term fight. So, yeah, Russian asset. She's, her and her dad do not like the system here, and they do everything they can to undermine it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So that's very interesting. I've got some, again, I admit myself, I don't know a great deal about Rebecca Mercer, but I understand from what I've been able to learn from abroad is that she's seen as one of these kind of almost right-wing conspiracy theory architect people.
Yeah.
I think extremely wealthy as well. And I think was also connected with Cambridge Analytica, which was something that was, and again, for entertainment purposes only, something that was even kind of connected a little bit with Facebook and stuff. And the Cambridge Analytica, they said, has been responsible for doing enough to nudge the vote on Brexit over the line. So there's quite a lot of stuff going there, and I find it very interesting that you guys got the cards that you did. The cards that I got. We look here. Look, illusions and delusions. Yeah, but this can also be what? Conspiracy theories as well, not being of sound mind, you know. So this says is so interesting because it says that particularly if we're taking this energy now, there's not a mentally stable energy, but in regards to what? Partnerships, collusion. Yeah, when we look at this, could be the delusion and collusion, spreading what? Lies, perhaps. Yeah, spreading lies. If we look here in the middle card, there is this element here where we've got temperance. And it's going to be very interesting if I get any upside down cards in the shuffle, because I literally went through my deck and turned them all the right way up just for a change. You know, I was like, oh my God, so many reversals. But we'll see. But this also as well deals with what kind of chemistry, wanting to kind of balance things. So there is this element here where there is these kind of ideas that are a bit deluded and teaming up with people, almost desiring some kind of balance, perhaps. But why? Could it be that there is something here to do with, you know, poverty, disgrace, downfall in some kind of way? Could there be even maybe some regrets upon reflection of how some things, I mean, because we don't know this person very well at all, so we can only just take what we can from the cards. And the outcome card that I get actually is the Emperor. And the Emperor deals with patriarchy, but organization, structure. So it looks like to me, it could be, the way I interpret it is that she could perhaps have become disillusioned with where the movement has gone. And because, you know, I think these partnerships that she had maybe has not turned out quite as she expected. Maybe her expectations were a bit unrealistic. She's trying to balance things out. And obviously, because a lot of people have actually started to kind of hit the fan, isn't it? Like these trials have begun of certain insurrectionists. But there's still this thing here to do with patriarchy and wanting to kind of structure. So that's the way I see it. I think she's probably reassessing some of those structures that she was a part of. Anything else to add to that, ladies, before we move to the next? Look at that. Look what jumped out.
Somebody was just saying Rebecca Mercer's ex-husband is Russian, born in France.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That is interesting.
See, I love that, you know, because like someone in the comments will pick out something that the cards where we may not even be aware, and someone will go, oh, by the way, wow. We'll just do a few more shout outs. We've got Mark McKenzie, who thank you for joining us. Having a little shout out to everyone. We've got who else? Ivana Intuitive. We have got Uda Leon, Patricia Franzino. Thank you so much, and many more. Okay, now this question, in fact, I'm just going to read it out because you will not be expecting this, but it's always nice to throw in something piquant and different. And as you know, I love to have an international question in there. So this one has come in from Kim Roberts, and she asks, will the tomb of Alexander the Great ever be found? Your faces.
Let's see what the cards say.
Now, one of the things I was thinking, like, let's have it. I was thinking maybe we could have this for a one card pool, but it was so zany and so interesting. I was just like, I just want to see what actually comes up. First of all, I wasn't even sure he had it. No, of course he would have had a tomb because he would have been buried in Alexandria, surely, the city that he created. So I don't know. This is like a bit of a spin, a bit of a left ball, just to throw it out there. Will the tomb of Alexander the Great ever be found? Your face, Dianne, priceless.
Like, wait, what? Was it missing? I didn't even know it was missing. I don't know. Okay.
It's just, do you know what I mean? It's just sometimes we've just got to throw in the random ones.
Poor Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, the cards are hideous for this.
Really?
So,
Might tell us a bit about his life.
the card of brokenheartedness, heartache, heartbreak. So, I mean, if you're looking at a yes or a no, I mean, to me, this is always a no card. I can't fathom any circumstance where this is a yes. The obstacle, devilish things were happening. There was maybe a little foul play. Something went on behind the scenes, and maybe that's part of the reason why it's missing. It would be a ruthless battle to try to find it. And I think the people would just be kind of stuck, which apparently they have been stuck, not being able to find it. So it's not looking good now.
Lady G, what do you have?
Yeah, this is an odd one. In the center of it, we have the Lovers. So maybe his honey will be reincarnated, and if she is psychic, we have moving forward. You know, things have been hung up. They haven't found it to date, but there could be some new thing coming forward from the past. So,
wow.
You know, maybe if his honey comes in, they will have some psychic thing about where it's at. I don't think he's got a tomb, though. I think he's just buried.
Yeah, it's because I know he founded the city of Alexandria, which of course bears his name. So it could be that he might be scattered, or maybe it's just a very secret tomb. And it's very interesting, the cards that I've got.
I keep seeing water, though. For some reason, I keep seeing water.
Yeah, it could be underwater. Yeah. Because they say the shorelines, of course, of like Egypt, or even if we speak about Atlantis or etc.,
right,
way back then, the shoreline would have been much further out to sea, because of course the sea levels have risen, you know, since. So much of this stuff is actually underwater.
Yeah, my feeling is in some sort of a cave thing, but there could be water in that too, because you know, he was doing so much of the fighting and stuff. They're not going to drag him all the way back to Alexandria.
That's a good point. He could have died where he fell. And it's really interesting what my cards have come up. So look what I get. Look what I get. First card. So we know he died. However he died, it was grim. Grim. But you know, this was ancient battle, and as we've seen in the world today, and of course we're going to address Ukraine soon as well, potentially with the next question, because such are the times, you know, really extraordinary times. But so here, look, we get that card, and when I think when we look at the obstacle, look, it's the Hermit, which is about what? Research, going within. So this could literally be those people that are trying to dig in and find the research, but of course they're being stymied by, there's something in terms of like the Devil card here. There could even be people that may be even obstructing the discovery of the tomb. That's what it says to me. Yeah, someone's searching, but they're being obstructed. There could even be a bit of corruption, and particularly as well when you look at the next card. So it's really someone. It could be some, like they might be looking for it, but there could be someone who really just wants to put this to an end, and almost like, look, he's gone, he's dead, it's over, let's leave it. But if he is discovered, maybe someone could actually make a lot of money out of it.
Sure.
It would become a tourist attraction, wouldn't it?
Fortune.
It would be a tourist attraction. This is the smug merchant here. And so I think people are trying, and it's going to require a leap of faith.
Yeah.
A leap of faith. So the sense I get is that maybe there are some people that may actually know where it is, and they don't want to disclose it. Or if they do know, they may want some kind of financial reparations or reward for that disclosure. So there could be someone greedy there who is basically holding back the project so that they can get the on the death of someone, which would be again Alexander. That would be Alexander the Great himself, where he fell. So quite interesting, that one. Okay. Very random, I know, but sometimes it's just good to.
It's good.
Mix it in, isn't it, peeps? You know, change it up. All right. So this next question, let's see here. Now, you, the both of you may or may not be aware, but Putin is demanding that his energy bills, because, you know, even though there's mass sanctions, of course, Europe can't quite yet wean themselves completely away. Yeah, because for some people, they've got up to 40% or even more of their gas coming from Russia. Yeah, so we understand why they're even paying the bills. But anyway, never mind. So Putin says that he wants his payments to be paid in rubles. Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
No.
He wants his payments paid in rubles. And of course, any sensible person would know they cannot do this, because the second you start paying him in rubles, of course, it's gonna undermine the sanctions. So he's literally holding countries to ransom, and he's demanding things be paid in rubles. And the question I've got here is, how much are the sanctions starting to affect Putin? Because for me, that is a real giveaway. Demanding that he be paid in rubles when the ruble is worth practically what? Nothing.
Yes.
Right.
Trying to rehabilitate. Let me just have a few more bites. So how much are the sanctions starting to affect Putin? We know already, don't we, that essentially the Russian economy has been devastated. As you guys would have heard me quip before, and we were talking about this, and I said they won't be able to afford McDonald's. And now it's not even a case of afford. McDonald's have pulled out.
Yeah.
They did. Starbucks did too, I saw.
But Burger King refuses.
Oh,
It's still open.
wow.
Really?
Well,
It's good to know.
maybe they're trying to kind of gain a little bit of ground. Well, each company is, of course, they make their own choices. Wow, very interesting.
Okay, so
you
my
have?
cards are very ominous. I mean, the first card I get is the poverty card, Five
Oh.
of Pentacles. So this is having like a real impact on him. And the obstacle, not just is it like the card of joy, but it's reversed on top of it. And so he's in a pretty miserable state. He is not too happy. He wants a return to normalcy, a return to how things used to be financially. He's longing for the past. He's reminiscing about the past and how things used to
The
be.
good old days.
He's by himself fighting on this hill, you know, which he literally kind of is. I mean, he started a war by himself. He's feeling burdened and oppressed by all of this. And it's been a ruthless battle. It's been an abuse of power. And I think now he's standing there just like this character and asking, was it worth it? And I think the answer may be no.
Yeah, indeed. Lady G, what do you have for us?
Well, underneath of it all, a devil move, of course, you know, his usual thing. So he's going to charge forward with that. I'm thinking because he's getting the harvest now, which is not great. So he's looking what he can do because he's now reaping the rewards of his path, so to speak, that he's done. So the center of it, we have, you know, looking towards the action that he can do, trying to find a way to make things work. And he's going to do the strong thing, throwing the dice with it. But the sanctions are heavy action, and it's working. The sanctions are getting a victory. Hopes and fears, he's tied up. Okay, it's not working well for him, and that wheel, the karma, has come back on him. So not good.
Wow. Yeah, not good. My cards aren't quite as severe as yours, but they are saying pretty much the same thing. And we've just also as well, we've been joined by over 700 of you here now as well. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Because I mean, there was part of me, sorry, forgive my tangent, but you know, when we had the little mix up and the show started later, but of course later obviously works for a lot of people, because a lot of people will be coming home at that time or whatever, and we know everyone will catch up afterwards. But just the fact that there's quite a lot of you here already, we really appreciate you guys being here. We really do. Okay, so Putin, look at that.
Yeah.
Or I think Mark calls him Vladimort. You know, like as in like Voldemort. That's a great one. So Mark, I have to give you a shout out for that as well, and a shout out to Catherine as well, who gave me a wonderful Western astrology consultation today. So it does work, you know. Anyway, this represents the energy of Putin, and obviously we can see this is what feeling embattled, feeling like he's looking at this situation and privately, I'm sure, going, "Oh my goodness." Now we know this guy is terrible. He's a monster, and he's really shown himself. He's shown his true colors, which we all really knew, but now it's nakedly obvious to the whole world. And we can only stand in solidarity, of course, with the people of Ukraine, who are just going through the most traumatic and hideous time, where some of their cities have been basically reduced to ashtrays. They look like ashtrays. But look, Putin is not nearly as confident as he's trying to predict, and he's feeling really embattled, and so's his army. They don't have enough food. They don't have enough ammunition. They're starting to run out of stuff. I think we really are reaching that tipping point where, you know, where he's going to have to kind of, I don't know, something's going to have to happen. Look at his obstacle. Lack of community. He's been reaching out, wanting to kind of reach to China and please help, and like China's like,
exactly,
you know,
right,
yeah, persona non grata, you know. So he's looking to have this combination, this collaboration internationally. He obviously, what's happened as well, the international money has stopped. Sometimes this can even be referred to as dark money as well. That's the kibosh has been put on that.
Right.
Exactly. Even his inner circle now, they're starting to resign, and they're starting to leave, because obviously you can't say to Putin, "I'm leaving," because before you know it, your underpants are poisoned and something slipped in, and you don't see your next birthday. We know that. So what this also says to me as well is that there is collusion and collaboration behind the scenes. This community no longer trusts Putin. That's what I would say. Also as well, emotions overflowing. Yeah. I think these people, even the oligarchs, are like, "Oh my goodness, this is terrible." Yeah, this is absolutely terrible. So there's that, emotions overflowing. And of course, if we think too as well of the mothers, quite simply, the mothers, loss of children, loss of life, everything. Also as well, what's having problems? Business. I mean, this could literally be the oligarchs, couldn't it? Because the king of wands is often a man, an enterprising man, you know, of business. So when we look at the next card, look at the outcome. He's really not sure. Putin is really not sure. As much as he's talking things up, he and his oligarchs, I think, are having second thoughts. You'd have to be literally clinically insane not to actually understand the how bad things are. And also as well, I think it was confirmed, I think we were correct, and many others were predicting as well. They say Putin does have Alzheimer's. Have you heard this? Apparently it's been confirmed in internationally in some paper or something like that, but many people are coming around to the idea. Yeah, that's scary. That's scary as well. Anything else to add to that, ladies, before we go to the next question? Okay, so here we are. This is a bit different. So this is coming from Jenny W. In light of the Queen's frail health, will Prince Charles ascend to the throne soon? And when he does, will it be for life or a shorter term? So let's just break that into two. In light of the Queen's frail health, will Prince Charles ascend to the throne soon?
Okay.
Charles, will he ascend to the throne soon? Queen's health.
So my cards are interesting. I start off with the Magician card. So the card of taking power and control over a situation, a new beginning. So I wonder if this, I mean, I know she hasn't thought about it in the past, really, about stepping down, but I wonder if maybe she'll make the decision to take a step back because she isn't well. I know that's sort of not like her, though. So interesting card. The obstacle, though, is she's very indecisive about all of this. I don't think she is going to ever give up power easily, but I think she also has to face her own age and her own health and her own abilities. You know, she is quite elderly. I do think that Prince Charles feels like him. He feels like he's been robbed of something. You know, I think he expected to ascend to the throne a long time ago. And I don't see how he can really reign for that long, no matter what, anyways.
He's in his 70s himself. He's in his 70s.
I mean, he's not a young man, right? But there does come a point where she does go and he gets to work and it's a whole new phase. It's a whole new chapter. You know, like her reign is ending, his is beginning. And yeah, I mean, it's going to happen eventually. I don't think it's going to be lengthy. I don't see how it could be just realistically, but I do think he feels robbed.
You're going to find my cards remarkable, by the way, but Lady G, what do you have for us?
In the center of it, the wheel is turning. Above it, we're looking, you know, he's wanting the long term.
Patient. Yeah, patiently.
Yeah, patience. But underneath of it, he's feeling like he's kind of, like you said, been robbed of it. He's out in the cold in a way. Wow. So is that what you have too? But
you'll see, it's spooky, my cards, yeah.
Yeah, but he's going forward. The challenge is his path, you know, the whole path for him. Wants to, the hopes and fears are for something better, but in the end, he's sort of tied up with stuff, you know, mentally, it's going to be a difficult thing for him, I think.
Wow. Wow. Fascinating. So, okay, my cards, and this is uncanny because you're going to see some cards coming up again. Remember, I just do a five card spread. So, look, world card. Okay. Beginnings and endings and beginnings. Yes. So, and obviously, you know, I'm a Brit, and you know, I don't have like pictures of the Queen up on my wall or anything like that. But anyone who's born in the UK, you know, it's unavoidable. Yeah, it's absolutely unavoidable. The royal family are a huge part of the cultural fabric of the UK, and we also need to understand as well that the Queen is the longest serving. Not only monarch in the UK, but the longest serving head of state, international head of state ever. So when that time comes, when she eventually does inevitably have to go, the whole world will acknowledge that moment. It's going to be quite extraordinary. What's in the obstacle position is that, look, that her life in a way, although it's a life of immense privilege and stuff, it can only go on for so long in the context of this card, because of course, in a way, of course, she's lived like a queen. Of course she has, you know, she's had immense wealth and privilege, but also incredible duty, which shows up, look.
Oh, wow.
Card. Yeah. Same card here. So we know that the Queen has been incredibly dedicated throughout her whole life. She has worked incredibly hard. Yes, it is a privileged life, but there's been a tremendous amount of graft there. Imagine how many countries and stuff like that she's been to, dignitaries, etc., etc. It just goes on and on. She's been on the throne for what, nearly 70 years now. That's what this big jubilee is coming up. No royal monarch has ever had the jubilee that she's got coming up. I think it's platinum or something. But look.
Our cards are all the same. Okay.
Can you the magician. The magician. So here, what I really feel, particularly as Philip, of course, passed away last year, this says to me that the Queen is reflecting on her temporal power and understands that she can only be on earth for so long. Yeah, she is a very spiritual person, very much a woman of faith. This could also speak of Charles, who's looking to come into his power and reign, of course, with his queen. This could be Camilla Parker Bowles. Now, we know that that can be quite a controversial subject, but I think here this is Prince Charles wanting to come in, take over the reins, and co-rule, of course, with Camilla, with her support, and for him to eventually come into his legacy. How long it will be, we'll have to see, because the Queen is going to be 96, I think, this year, and I think Prince Charles is 76, something like that. Now he's healthy, sprightly, etc., but it's not that time where you're just jumping out of bed and doing backflips. Let's put it that way. Do you know what I mean? He's had to wait for a long time. So anything else to add to that, ladies, as we just hit 900?
No, I just think he's going to find it very restrictive once he actually gets in there.
Yeah. It may not be what he is envisioning it.
Exactly. He's 76. He's had this freedom to do what he wants. He hasn't had to do all the things that come with it. So that's going to be a huge change.
Yeah, indeed. All right. Now, here, are we ready for the next question? How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing quite good on time. So I think we'll answer this and then we'll go into some one-card pulls, which I'll read from my mobile, if that's good. Okay, so, this one here. So now, I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but there's this guy called Mike Braun who made some comments recently. I think he's part of the GOP. And he had to retract, or he kind of walked back some comments. But anyway, Mike Braun, seeming to support states banning interracial marriage, in an interview, believe it or not, in an interview, then walks back the statements. And it was when I was watching this on the American news, one of the presenters referred to this as a GOP two-step, walking something, which they are very fond of doing. And here are certain sections of the GOP who are now referred to as the GOP. Yeah, the GOP. Are certain sections of the GOP trying to recreate segregation? Yeah, I know it's icky, but I know it's like...
Right, I know, but yeah.
I know, choppy times. You can see why I put in the Alexander the Great question. Yeah, change it up, because we are going through the world, and of course Ukraine is having a terrible time. But I just wanted to know what you get. Is the GOP trying to recreate segregation? It's an outrageous thing. It's just absolutely outrageous. It shocked a lot of people. Shocked a lot of people. GP stance on interracial marriage.
Okay. I pulled a few cards on this one. So the first card I get, they're at this crossroads, and I think they're trying to figure out how far can we push things. They have some decisions to make. How far can we take it? Because I think you know, Trump showed us that there's a portion of this country that is despicable. And so we know that there is a fan base for that, which is just hideous. The obstacle, the high priestess, hidden agendas, secret motives, things done in the dark. So that would make me say, yeah, unfortunately, there is a certain part of the population. But then we get the card of illusion and disillusionment. You know, it's not grounded in anything real. So if you're worried about this, please don't, because it's not going to manifest. They're going to try, but you know, good judgment will prevail. Our democracy will hold up. Yeah, some of these people are going to persevere, but the rest of us are also going to persevere. And then I get, you know, my card, one of my cards for the US, that, yeah, we're going to prevail just along with our democracy, and actual family values will prevail. Families actually coming together. This is the only card with 3 generations of a family on it. It even has the 2 dogs. You know, so like normalcy will prevail, but yes, there is a certain segment of our society that has these archaic, despicable thoughts.
Wow. Lady G, what do you have for us?
Well, in the center of it all, this is, you know, coming rapidly from the GOP. Above it, it's one of the strongholds of them, their white supremacist crap, you know, and trying to overturn, you know, things because they're looking at the harvest. They don't like it. They're trying to overturn what we have now, what we're trying to go forward with. Going into it, King of Swords, you know, they're trying to put out their strength, but they're kind of being overturned with that. The challenge is, you know, the swords, all of their mental drama that they have about interracial things. They're up at nights, hopes and fears, up in fear about it. Oh my God, what will we do? And of course, the ending again is the family, you know. So as usual, they're running amok in fear mode. You know, all those Mexicans coming over, they're all rapists. They're all, you know, the same type of drama that they've been in. The old men's club, if they could bring slavery back, they would do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
Scary, isn't it? It's scary.
Terrible.
And I know it's not an easy question, of course, to you know, tackle. But as you know, we are prepared to tackle awkward and difficult questions on the show, as well as the more outlandish and unusual ones. But it just can give an insight as well, because this is so persistent, so pernicious. And we see, of course, how the new justice is being not only grilled, but it's almost practically having, you know, thrown at her. And it's just ridiculous. And
I know, it's insane. You can't believe, you know, when you're driving through Florida and everything, all these rebel flags and stuff that are still up, and you go, you know, they lost the war a long time ago. You know, just give it up already, okay?
Yeah, they were flying the white flag. The flag of surrender.
It's astonishing, isn't it? It's astonishing. And so obviously, of course, I'm a Brit here from the, you know, on the other side of the ocean. And I just want to actually say as well, because sometimes many American viewers will know, but I think it was my sister was actually saying it looks like we're all kind of like close together, because of course we're spliced together, but we are literally thousands of miles apart.
Right.
I mean, it's like I'm here in the UK. Dianne is across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, right across.
Right across. And then Lady G is in New Mexico. We literally couldn't be further. I don't know how many time zones it is, but it's quite a lot. But yet there is this similarity between the cards. So in regards to this question, what are they trying to do? Do they want to bring, you know, segregation and things like that? If we look at the context, this is just I think this is just really disappointing and heartbreaking for a lot of people, because it's like we've got these people who are coming out with these outrageous things and then walking these statements back and then saying, well, if it were up to the states, blah, blah, blah. And I think this is just making a lot of Americans just feel upset. And it's just not a good look. Let's just put it that way. It's just not a good look. if we look, what is the obstacle position? It's the Queen of Pentacles. So, of course, on one level, Queen of Pentacles can represent the household and money and stuff like that. But for me, in many ways, this can also speak about values.
Yeah.
Well, literally values. What are the values that we have, you know, at home? So you see, like the GOP is almost like trying to break people's hearts in regards to that. But look, they're feeling embattled. I think they were probably surprised at the strength of the backlash.
Yeah.
But it's also as well, it's almost like they feel like their values are under threat. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like that's how they're.
Isn't that crazy? It's
That's
just
so
when you say
bizarre.
that kind of thing, it's just, yeah, it's nuts.
That's
It's
the way.
2022.
Yeah, 2020. So for me, it's like they feel heartbroken because they feel their values that they've set are under threat. That's how I read that one. And why? What is it? They want to go back to the past. There it is. This
The
is
good old days.
Exactly, the good old days, you know, nostalgia and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And we know it's all deluded and life has to move forward. And the outcome card here really is actually a lot of emotion. But again, I find it quite interesting that two of the Queen cards have come out in this reading. So what that says to me is that the GOP, you know, they are highly emotional about this, not very rational, I would say as well, because when the emotions get too high, it's like they've got these emotional attachments to the past.
Yeah.
That, do you know what I mean? And it's just too much. It's just too much. And over 1,000 have just joined us now. So thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Let me just do a few quick shout outs. So Donna Bailey, thank you so much for your donation. We really appreciate that. And also as well, Darcy, thank you for your contribution. Who else is in the house? We've got Kay Williams. We've got Cheska, perhaps, Ranieri, Paula, George, Nirjana, Gosh, and many, many more of you. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking that time. Okay, shall we do some one card pulls? We've got 15 minutes where we can just let rip. Now, the ladies love this. You can see the purring like with catnip because I'm just So what I'm going to do is indulge me, folks, as I go to the phone because I didn't have time today so I'm just going to have to go straight to my mobile. And here's a juicy one. Now, you know, I have done a chart on this man. And there were certain things I looked at in his chart which I didn't like the look of. And I mentioned those things in this man's chart. And I got quite a lot of blowback at the time. And I was like, there's something there that I don't like. So someone has raised this question, not about my consultation, but about this person. And I thought we could pull one card each. So Jeanette Nutis has said, why is Merrick Garland not acting? Is there a threat to his life? That's what she's asking about from that context. So, okay, let's see what we get. Merrick Garland, why is he not acting? Is there a threat to his life? Quite a juicy question.
Indeed.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna move over to my Bianco Nero tarot. Yeah, I feel I need my more mysterious cards for this. Diane, what do you have?
So I get the card of a ruthless battle. So there's obviously something going on. There's obviously some abuse of power that's happened somewhere in the situation. So quite possibly.
Yeah, because I got the actions going forward for him to take action.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
and my one card pull. I had two cards that fell out of the deck, so technically I can't. Technically I can't kind of pull those, but look at that. He's reassessing. There is something that, look, how can I say this? Because people do get very upset. They do. And first of all, we need to understand what I just want to say is, look, we are three people pooling our talents together, bringing you our opinions based on our professional experience and the cards that we get. Please, please, please don't take our readings personally.
No.
Yeah, please don't take them personally, or anyone else's readings for that fact.
Right.
We all watch everyone else, and many of the readers are saying people are starting to get really, you know what I mean, without complaining, but let's not take it personally. Here, this is a card of assessment, reflection, and looking at the harvest of one's fruits in a way, things being sown. So there's some element here. And the way I interpret that is that I think there is so much more going on behind the scenes than we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is the fruit of something that was sown a long time ago. We all know grapes don't grow overnight. You can't make wine overnight. Viviculture takes a long time. So if I literally look at that card, literally, there are seeds that have been sown in the past that are fruiting now that we don't know about, which could explain why things aren't moving. There you are. Don't shoot the messengers. Yeah. All right. Let me just. And thank you, Catherine Winston, for your donation. Are we ready for the next one card pull?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Let's see. As we send. Oh, this is a juicy one. This is coming from Anna Macedo or Macedo. I'm not sure how to say it. Forgive me. Why did Manafort try to flee to Saudi Arabia? Business.
Dubai.
Oh, was it Dubai? Was it Dubai?
Dubai.
Sorry, that's what it was written. So why did Manafort try to flee to Dubai? Business or fleeing? I think that's an interesting one. Manafort.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so if you saw my video today, this actually lines up perfectly because I said, where do so many Russian oligarchs live? Dubai. And here he is.
Wow.
I know it's just a one card pull, but I am going to say I was right on that one.
Mm-hmm.
This was not pleasure.
Wow.
Yeah. And I got because of judgment. Okay. Same thing, judgment coming down.
Wow. And the card that I get, 10 of Swords.
Yeah.
Oh.
Trying to escape a downfall. Yeah. Trying to get away before it all
crashes and burns.
Yeah. So that looks like, based on what we got, that looks like a bit of an escape attempt, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How
I think it has a Russian connection. I just get something with that. And then I get my little friend again. So
must do. Wow. Let's see. Are we ready for the next one card pull? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now look, this is now obviously we know there's so much going on with the Ukraine and stuff like that, and there is a lot of energy of fear as well around the Ukraine, which we can understand. But as everyone knows, this is a very positive channel, and we all remember not everything is set in stone already. I think we can feel the energies have changed.
Yes.
And just to put in a little kind of side wagon thing, do you remember I said, like, when Saturn and Mars come together on the 4th of April, Mars is going to be in his exaltation point. So although it does deal with war, it also means there will be a lot of people that are trying to do the right thing. And haven't we also seen that as well in the world? Haven't we? We've seen people reaching out with extraordinary generosity, pathos, you know. So although it's terrible, we're not trying to minimize Ukraine, but we're saying there is positivity as well to focus on. And this question has just come in here from Nicola McClafferty. Wow, what a name. That's so cool. So she says, as 5D energy is now coming through, are elemental forces helping to defend the Ukraine? Thought that was a nice question.
How do we define? Because I define elemental forces as being literal elementals, like
Ooh.
the creatures that kind of guard the earth, that were never human, but they're here. Is that how we're defining elementals?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, let's,
Okay.
as is. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Okay.
Elementals. I like that interpretation, by the way. I hadn't thought of it that way, but I like it. And as you're shuffling, we have... Thank you, Sherry B, so much as well for your donation. We really appreciate it. There's over 1,000 of you here. I really wasn't expecting that.
Wow.
So again, we love that you're here. Thank you.
So it's interesting. So I get the Queen of Pentacles. So, you know, this has to do with earth signs, and elementals are of the earth. So this isn't something that I thought about before, because to me, like, elementals are more shamanistic, and I'm usually more like ETs and angels and that. But where I get such a grounded card, a card that relates to the earth, that makes me think, yes.
Lady G, what do you have?
Well, it could be that they're working on the mental systems of some of them. You know, could be with the Russian troops and stuff. Yeah, you're facing loss. Just yeah.
And look what I get. I get, what is this? This is the 5 of Cups. I get the 5 of Cups.
So mentally, emotionally, and
right, we just got it all.
I think what is, if you know, if they're the elementals are here helping out, they're doing it in a very kind of visceral way. And like Dianne was saying, like with this earth element here, I find it very interesting because many of the Russian soldiers have been bogged down in the earth,
right.
haven't they? It's just come to me, and I'm like, and a lot of their tanks have been just crushed, and it's been very physical in terms of what's happened to the army, don't you think? There's this, and of course, Pentacles deal with what else as well? What? Nutrition, food. They've been literally calling out for food. So it's almost like, maybe could it be that almost like the soil, the Ukraine, the elementals of Ukraine itself, almost kind of pulling them down. It feels very heavy, doesn't it? When we go into the energy of the Russian army, the morale is very low.
Yeah.
Say a lot of people.
The mental part, emotional.
Yeah, the mental and emotional part. So I think in a way that one card pull is really actually spoken a lot about the Russian army. Yeah, how they've how they're being affected, and a lot of them, a lot of generals have died, and apparently they're running out of ammunition as well. And did you see the videos of them raiding the shops, the supermarkets? Did you see that? They were literally like going in there and just grabbing as much food as they could, and some of them were actually ripping open the packets of food and eating right there because they couldn't wait. They couldn't even wait. So when you see that, and apparently they're in disarray, so it looks like some earth elemental factor is really. But what an interesting question, don't you think?
Yeah, I like it.
Question. Love that question. Thank you so much for that, Nicola. So let's see here. I thought we'd go with more of these ascension things. So so this is coming from Sarah S. As we ascend, how will news media change? When will we start to see the first steps towards better news reporting? That's a great question, isn't it? So thank you, Sarah S, for that. Some really thought-provoking questions, guys. Really, really interesting.
Oh, I like my card. Ace of Swords. So a new beginning where the truth comes out. Here's the sword of truth. It's balanced. It's fair. You know, it sees both sides of the issue. It's ethical. It's moral. It's just. So, and aces are new beginnings. So I like that I got this.
Wow.
So I also got rushing forward with truth, putting it out there and putting it out there, I think, more rapidly. We're getting to the truth much more quickly.
Wow. And the card that I got here is the Two of Wands, looking out. Maybe perhaps news becoming, maybe in the States, maybe a bit more international, a bit more worldly, maybe trying to be a little bit more balanced as well, because of course the twos are always, as we know, the twos in the decks, they're always balancing of some kind. So I think this is maybe the news becoming more worldly, a bit more international, and maybe less, you know, within, and a bit more looking to the outside world. So I think that's really positive. Well, thank you all. We just had another donation come in, so thank you, Catherine Rodia, for your donation. We are almost at the hour. I think that's a perfect place to end.
Yeah.
I think that was quite positive. Great questions, guys. We really appreciate everyone who turned up. Few last little call outs. So Gertrude, hi, of course. Judy Ranieri, Moon Shadow, thank you for joining us. Libra Lady and Nana Lovely and Azalea and many more. I think that was a great show. Thank you, guys. Thank you, of course, Dianne and Lady G, for your talents and skills and charms. Looking wonderful, of course, as always. And thank you also as well, everyone, for joining us. And we will see you next week. And of course, there'll be one week where, of course, her ladyship shall be dancing at the ball. I can't wait for those pictures. Honestly, I cannot wait. Cannot wait for those pictures. So anyway, we will see you guys very soon. And thank you all for joining us. And I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.